Welcome to the Breakfast Show, everyone. I'm in the lobby of the House of Commons, which is right over that way, with Michelle Rempel from Calgary. How do you feel after being in the House of Commons and voting on motion after motion hundreds of times over 10 hours throughout the night?
I feel really proud, Pierre. I'm proud of the fact that our Conservative team has been standing up for Canadians and trying to get some pretty basic information out of Justin Trudeau, which I think you need to tell people about.
Well, you know what I learned throughout this night?
What, Pierre?
I found out the one unbending liberal principle that actually exists.
Oh, enlighten us.
And that is that they will go to any lengths, they will bear any hardship, face any burden in order to prevent Canadians from finding out what the carbon tax will cost the average Canadian family.
Yeah, it was actually crazy. They've been in there for, 12 hours?
12 hours straight.
Voting against releasing information that they already have that we really should have in order to hold them to account to determine whether or not this policy is good, which you and I both know it's not.
So just to give our viewers some background, the government introduced a bill to bring in a carbon tax. We asked them what the tax would cost the average Canadian family. I filed an access to information request, and I got this document back. And that document shows that they know what the cost will be. It says here, these higher costs would then cascade through the economy in the form of higher prices, thus leading all firms and consumers to pay more for goods and services with higher carbon content. Those goods could include heat, hydro, electricity, groceries, or anything you buy. So then they tell us here what that extra cost is. It says, this memo focuses on the potential impact of the carbon price on households' consumption expenditures across the income distribution. Key findings are blacked out. So
Blank.
this here would be a table telling you how much you'll pay depending on how much you make. But they don't want you to know what you're going to pay if they want us to help them pass this tax to charge it to you. So, it's kind of like going into a store and buying a product without seeing the price tag and then getting the bill after the fact. We're just simply asking them to come clean, tell Canadians what this tax will cost, and we're telling them we're not going to let them out of here until they do.
So you've been fighting this for a long time. What do you make of all of the Liberal backbenchers that are just sitting there sort of standing up and down and clapping and actually covering up this information for their constituents, right? Because we're trying to get to the bottom of this. How do you think those guys feel?
Well, I think they're worried about sticker shock. They're worried that if people find out how much this tax will cost, then there will be a revolt. The Taxpayers Federation has estimated the costs are as high as $2,000 per family. And those costs will come in the form of higher gas, groceries, heat, other expenditures on which everyday Canadians rely. I think the government is hoping that you, as consumers, blame your grocer, your local gas station owner, and other small businesses in your community for the rising prices, when really it's a carbon tax that's embedded in all those products.
JT, Justin Trudeau special. There's one other thing that you've done a really good job of that I think people need to know, and that's that. So they've got this high-priced carbon tax, and they're claiming that it's going to do something significant for Canada's environment. We haven't seen any evidence either that this is actually going to do anything for the environment. Is that right?
Well, they haven't told us how many greenhouse gas emissions they believe they can reduce with this carbon tax.
I'm pretty sure it's zero.
Well, it would be nice if they told us. So they haven't told us the benefit. They won't tell us the cost, and yet they're asking us to do a cost-benefit analysis. It's kind of difficult when you don't have when the government refuses to provide the information it has. So I'm asking you to join with Michelle and our Conservative team under the leadership of our friend Andrew Scheer to pressure the government to back down in this carbon tax cover-up. So click through and sign our petition, and let's fight back. Thanks very much. Have a great breakfast.